No one defines who you are other than you. No one defines who you are other than you. You just simply have to define it. And so I want to tell a story about this book and this woman. Every one of my, people always ask me like, so what's your favorite book? Like, they're all amazing to me because everyone has a story. But I want to tell you this story of that book called After Mars. That woman is a woman named Shannon Case. Shannon Case is someone who came to me timid, shy, definitely on the introverted spectrum. She's someone who is an artist. She's a sculptor, a very, very talented sculptor. And I sat down with her like I sit down with every student. I sit down with thousands of people every year and I ask them the same exact question. I've asked some of you this very same question. In the best case scenario, what would you love to do more of in 10 years? Ask yourself that question. In the best case scenario, what would you love to do more of every day in 10 years? And I remember vividly what Shannon said to me. She's an artist. She was a freshman at Carnegie Mellon. And she said to me this: I want to be one of the first colonists on Mars. I want to be one of the first colonists on Mars. I think my family would miss me, but that's what I want to do. And I sort of chuckled, said, that's ambitious. I love it. How does a woman who's an artist, a sculptor, a student at Carnegie Mellon do that one? Well, I told her to do something that scared her to death. And I said, all right, like, how do you want to convince someone like Elon Musk to actually take you to Mars? So I asked her, how would you do that one? She's like, well, I don't know. Like, that would be really challenging, but I want to figure that out. And so over the next year, I spent time with Shannon often. And again, like anyone, she had plenty of doubts and fears, but she did two smart things. Number one, she set a big, hairy goal that was far enough in the future that she couldn't be afraid of that goal. It was far enough in the future that she couldn't be terrified by it, but she had something out there that was distant enough she could do. And number two, she surrounded herself with people that supported her to get to that dream someday. Those two things. So almost nearly every day I would sit down with Shannon. Every week I would talk to her about these sorts of things. And I would say, how are you going to figure out something that Elon Musk would care to read? That's what I asked her every day. How would you do it? She said, well, I don't know. I don't know how I would do that one. And so I asked her, what does Elon Musk care about more than anything? She said, well, he wants to go to Mars. And I was like, yeah, we already know that Elon Musk is going to Mars, right? Like, that's clear. Elon Musk is probably he's probably already teleported there or something. Like, he's already there. But I said, what does Elon really want to know? She's like, well, where do we go after Mars? It's a really great question. Sure, Elon isn't ambitious enough to sort of say we're going to stop at Mars, right? Clearly not. So I asked her, like, go out and answer this question. And she went out over the next sort of 6 months and talked to people who were at Blue Origin. She talked to people who were at SpaceX, at NASA, some of the world's best scientists, people who were living in Antarctica trying to figure out what was going on with living on other planets. And over the next 6 months, this woman who was a sculptor, not an astrophysicist, knew nothing about space other than that she was a big, big Star Wars fan, true story. But she said, I'm gonna learn this thing. I'm gonna find this thing out so that I know the answer, because maybe I'm not gonna be the colonist on Mars. Like, that's probably too close for me. But why can't I be the colonist on Titan? Or why can't I be the colonist on another planet? And so what she did, this artist, was able to put together an answer in this book. And it's an amazing little book. Like, it's not anything particularly, it's not deep, it's fun, it's really interesting to read. And she put this book out there. Now, if that was just the end of the story, that would be great. She did something accomplished really, really hard. She put something out she was terrified of. But that's not the end of the story. So Shannon Case, an artist, a freshman in college, put this book out there. Someone saw this book. Someone who happened to be working on a project to design a greenhouse that we are going to actually put plants in on Mars. They saw this and said, man, I don't know who this woman is, but she is really thoughtful about space. We need her on our team. So Shannon is now working on a project to help design the greenhouse that we are going to feed ourselves from an artist who knows nothing about space, who was ambitious enough to put out something that she cared about. That is fucking amazing, right? Yes, you can clap for that one, because that is amazing.